to the goofball army out there. Hi, the families. Tell them to get to the next room. Tell them to go to your neighbors because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, whew.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm Rob. And I want to give a shout out to Def for always saying, hey, kids, at the start of the show. Appreciate
Makes
you.
me feel young, which I like, because I'm definitely not.
Thanks for forgetting about it, back surgery.
Yeah. Oh, God. But yeah, guys, we got a lot to go over with here as far as got somebody cut we've expected for a while now, finally gone. We got owners meetings here in Arizona. So we got John Harbaugh talk today, and we got to talk about who showed up and who didn't show up for ownership wise. And we're also going to go over Giants on the hot seat in 2026 there. Guys that basically have a pivotal year, so to speak, here where things don't go right. They may not be a Giant long-term, or in some cases, even in the NFL itself as a whole. So let's go ahead and kick her off here. See what I did there? Kick her off.
Yeah, you said kick her off.
Football.
Why are you kicking the lady, man? Come on, man.
Little football pun. Anyway, guys, speaking of kicking, Graham Gano won't be kicking for the Giants anymore.
Segue.
Whoa. Any more of a segue being a tour around the city. As expected, finally, Graham Gano has been cut. So, yeah, we've saved $4.5 million in cap space, which is about a half to a third of what we need for the draft. So that's going to be a big help there. But yeah, again, guys, we said this was a formality. It was going to happen. We told people not to worry about it. We said that before even Dan Duggan and all them sort of saying it. Like, you knew it had to be done the second we actually got a kicker, plus having Ben Sauls here, obviously, still on top of that. So, yeah, it is going to be a scenario where, to be honest, his career is probably done. But I hope not for his sake. It's weird because a lot of Giants, they leave here, they go and they're being successful elsewhere, and you get pissed off. Like, what the hell? You couldn't do that with the Giants. I would be happy for Graham Gano to be happy, healthy, and playing a couple more years somewhere else. I really would.
Yeah, listen, he did us a great service on a really bad Giants team. He was one of the best players on this team.
Yeah.
And, sadly, Father Time is catching up to him, and he can't stay healthy. So it's like not like a bad send-off, but at the same time, like, this is part of the business aspect, and it gets a little cold because he's still a human being. And I appreciate everything he's done for the Giants, but at this point, especially, we've made a lot of special team moves for the better. This is probably one of the things for the better. And if he plays better somewhere else, and stays healthy, kudos to him.
Damn straight.
Have fun.
Yeah. I remember our very first episode we ever did the show was discussing, our thoughts on people on the team and everything. And we talked about Graham Gano and said that he might actually be the very best player we have on the roster. Keep in mind at this point, Dexter Lawrence wasn't Dexter Lawrence yet.
We also thought Darius Slayton would be good.
DJ, we saw kind of coming off of a bad year. It's just, we knew Barkley, obviously, but Barkley was coming off injury years at that point too as well. So, it was a legit statement we made at that point. So again, we want to kind of show gratitude because I'm seeing some people being unfortunately not the kindest to him as far as him leaving. And like I said, the Giants should have moved on a while ago from him. We know that. We all agree with that. But that's not his fault. That's the Giants' fault.
Hey,
I want to blast Joe Shane.
I mean, that's also in hindsight too, right? So, I mean, the door is shut.
We had it in foresight too. We had it in foresight.
Yes, 2 years ago we started getting injured. Like we didn't have a backup kicker, right? That's mistakes on our part. They cut him after one injured year when he's 35 at the time, 36. Like as a kicker, you're not that worried about him coming back and not being able to be 100% healthy in the following year, and he wasn't, and that's something that is hindsight. Like,
well, this past year, you and I were both saying, "What the hell? Why is he still here?"
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Now going into this season, it's the right move.
They made the move 1 year too late, but again, that's not his fault.
No,
and he still tried his best for the team. So I'm not going to knock him for, the GM doing stupid things. Let's talk though about the owners' meetings because they're going on right now in Arizona, which is just. It seems to be one of these spots they have it in quite often there. John Mara was there, and that's obviously a very good sign for him, health-wise, as he's doing his battle with cancer there. So glad to see he was there, amongst people that have a lot of respect for him, and hopefully that picked up his spirits. Obviously the mental aspect of trying to fight battles of cancer is one of the things people don't talk about enough, but getting support, getting respect from a lot of people like that will probably lift his spirits a little bit there. Who's not there, of course, is Steve Tisch. Listen, I wouldn't say it's the first one. Oh God, I wouldn't say it's the first one he skipped, but definitely, it's more of a thing now because obviously the Epstein files and all that kind of stuff there. But he was at the last meeting they had in New York in October when they had the fall owners meeting there. Like I said, he's missed ones in the past. So it is what it is right now. We don't know what's going on with him. I think most of us hope he just skedaddles away, but it is what it is. Chris Mara also was at the meetings as well. So him continuing his seems like a bigger role within the family business there. And I mean, he did a lot of the right things, but the Harbaugh thing, he was one of the big contributing factors to Harbaugh coming here. So
yeah, fantastic move. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. So I can't hate it. That's for sure. So John Harbaugh spoke to the media today, though, at the owners' meeting. So talked about the off-season plans and training camp and all, and said that the team is going to have at least one joint practice, and they're trying to have two. He also said that he will play most guys in the preseason, which I love. I'm sorry, don't sit players in the preseason. Let them get some reps. Let them get back to the hits. Let them get back to
the swing of things. This is time. Like I don't want to see the deal things where sit the players, make sure they're healthy for the regular season. But let them start warming up and let them get ready for the regular season.
Yeah, like if they're battling in any kind of injury, I get it. Like let them, get solid. And I get there's a risk to getting them injured as well, obviously, but there's also risk to them starting slow, like the Giants have for the last 30 years. Just doesn't seem to be a good thing for the Giants lately. Week 1 has been a horrendous week for us. It seems like every single year for forever. So since 22 actually, is the first year we started the show. So you just got to go ahead and do it.
Longer. You
just got to do it. So he also talked about Odell Beckham Jr. I really hope that Odell Beckham just retires soon just so this can go away. I'm sorry. I just want it gone. I feel like we've been talking about this also since 22.
Stop, guys. He's 3 injuries past his prime and up there in age for a receiver.
Yeah.
And once again, he did us a service. He played great. His best careers were with the Giants, but that was almost a decade ago.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
He said, you look at every option. Odell is an option. He and I do talk. We do text. We maintain a really great relationship. He's one of my favorite people in the world. So it's not like you don't talk to guys about things like that. And we certainly have. We'll see where it all goes. What's best for him? What's best for the Giants? That's the number one thing. What's best for our team? Any player, if he helps you be a better team and can make you better, then you're going to pursue that. We'll just see where that goes. That was a very nice "we're not interested" in my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
I was a good run around of saying, fuck that guy. Sorry,
like,
YouTube.
I feel like I've seen a lot of people run with that, going, Giants and OBJ are talking. Giants and OBJ are talking. Like,
no.
And I'm so glad you're on the same page as me. It's what that means, because I all day long, I'm like, he never said that. Look what he said. You look at every option, and Odell is an option. Okay, that's a blanketed, like, yeah, we think about everybody. Of course, that's not on the table. We're not going to take anything off the table.
Yeah, of course we talked to this guy because everyone's on the table. But
yeah,
what they didn't say was, oh, he's in high interest, or he's an interest of ours, or it was more of everyone's an interest.
Here's the key part for me of what he said. He said, any player, if he helps you be a better team and can make you better, then you're going to pursue that. Let's be very frank here for a moment. You don't got to pursue shit with OBJ. You give him a better and minimum deal, he's probably in the building tomorrow.
Probably.
So let's not kid ourselves. If he thought that OBJ made this team better, guess where OBJ would be? With the team right now as we
be in Jersey.
Speak. So I think that was a very nice way of saying a lot of nice things about him as a person, while also, not closing the door fully, because you don't want to make it seem like he's retired and he's done. Because if he said that, like, I think his best days are behind him, I think he's done, like, the media would have run with that and it would have killed any chance of him getting signed elsewhere. That's a respect thing. You don't do that.
100%.
But read between the lines. If he was going to help the team, they already would have pursued him. If they pursued him in any way, shape, or form, he's here. It's not like he has tons of options, guys. He didn't play it all last year. He would be here for a half-eaten bologna sandwich if he could be.
Pay for his meals. Pay for his meals for next year.
Let's be honest, he needs money, but beyond the him needing money thing, it would put his name back in New York spotlight again, and he can go ahead and do all kinds of endorsements, autograph signings, all these things, and make tons of money doing that even.
Jay. No, 100%. You're 100% right, because where you land means a lot. If he goes to the Raiders, yes, that's Vegas. Well, no, but Vegas, when they play at home, it's almost like an away game because no one is from Vegas. Like, it's so the markets matter. And when you play in New York, that's the biggest market in the world.
Well, but it's also his past with the team. Like, he could go to, like, what's that bar in Woodbridge that gets, like, all the players going there? You know what I'm talking about? The one, like, just north the Woodbridge Mall.
The Fox and Hound, Menlo Park?
No, there's the Woodbridge Brewery or whatever right up there, right by the PetSmart and all that stuff. How is it I know where this place is, and I haven't lived there in 10 years? Like, right up Route 1.
Because you're talking, I'm going to the Piney area of Jersey these days.
I understand that, but you're at least in the state. I'm 20 hours away. But anyway, Woodbridge Brewing Company.
I sell vacuums south of there.
Woodbridge Brewing Company. That is the name of the place. But anyway, what I'm getting at is he can go to a place like that and just make thousands and thousands of dollars just signing pictures of the catch. That's why he needs to go to New York, for him, for his marketing, for his money, for his monetary issues he's having right now. Let's be very frank as well. He probably can make money right now doing it as well. But
it's different because
who did he play for last? Spotlight again by being signed by us.
Yeah, I mean, he went to Miami. I guess that's a very Jersey thing that you go and retire down south in Florida, right, Drew?
I didn't retire down here. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But like I said, I read this totally different than everybody else seems to have. So I'm very glad you and I are on the same page, because I could not believe anybody else was like, oh, look, OBJ's about to sign. Oh, Harbaugh says he still talks to OBJ and he wants to sign him. That's not what he said.
I mean, he was also a Raven not that long ago. So
yeah, and that's why he knows him.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Anthony, who actually corrected himself, he meant goose spot. I think he meant good spot. Third time's a charm. Good spot, Drew. That's where we had Danny's birthday at. So, yeah. So, he's got a third time fixing himself.
Let's go with the G spot.
That's not it. But I've heard good of the place. Like I said, that place has tons of Giants to go there. like all the time, doing autographs. It's like $100 a ticket or something to go there and get Jeff Stein, though. But that's what it costs. As we also got Big Dash in the house there with the Odell Bartholomew
What's up, Big
Beckham
Dash?
Jr. I didn't even know Bartholomew is what it stood for. And Jace says Drew hates Odell. I don't hate the man. I don't. I don't know. I dislike parts of what I see of him. I don't know him personally, so I'm not going to sit there and say, things that like I don't like he's a jerk or whatever. I don't know him personally, but I've seen enough of him issue-wise. He got in a freaking fight with the kicking net in the sideline
and lost.
He embarrassed the team in the Josh Norman thing. He talked trash about Eli Manning. He talked trash about Baker when he went to Cleveland. So it wasn't even just an Eli thing, obviously. He had all kinds of issues with I made all this money and people think it's a lot and then you blow through it. Well, no, you did blow through it because you were a moron. Just say that. And you know what? I would have not hated that comment so much if he just said, you know what? I did some really goddamn stupid things.
I might have forgiven the Eli thing.
I would have.
That's right. If he came out and said that,
totally been okay with that. If they just said, I made some really stupid decisions, and because of that, I'm now paying the price.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We've all made stupid decisions. For some of us, it might be putting a $5,000 purchase on a credit card. We're still paying off years later. For him, it may be the fact that he bought a whole bunch of crap and has no more money left.
Yeah. Tons of expensive cars.
Yeah. So, again, this is what happens to all good receivers. Eventually, you're a headache. Your talent no longer outweighs the headache-ness, for lack of a better term, because that's obviously not an actual word, the headache-ness. But then you go away because teams don't want to deal with the headache as a backup. They don't want to deal with it. And I get the example all the time of, remember T.O.? T.O. still had like almost 1,000 yards his last season. Nobody wanted to deal with him.
Well, he's a different type of headache. That was way above any other receiver. But don't be prejudiced because not all good receivers are like that.
No.
Like we talked about Larry Fitzgerald. Granted, he was never the guy that was
Hines Ward.
But
Hines Ward. Always hear good things about him.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these guys were very humble.
Things you hear about him.
Some of these guys were humble, but majority of the guys, you're right, they have an ego. And you know what? They were the best they were, in the little leagues. They're the best they were in middle school. They're the best they were in high school. They're the best they were in college. When you get to the NFL and you're a high status guy doing, of course you have an ego.
And it's
just what you do with the money. Like Gronk, as dumb as he comes across, a lot of people like being a meathead.
Apparently, Jay saying that Hines Ward was a D-bag, dude. I don't know. I always heard nice things, but I don't follow the Steelers like that, obviously. But he did the little things on the field and stuff like that a lot of the receivers wouldn't do, and I always like that. The run blocking especially. But I don't know. Again, I don't know these guys personally. I don't pretend to. But let's get to what you said a moment ago. Guys who were the best in college, and that's about the end of it here. Evan Neal and Josh Azudu. Obviously, it's a big story this offseason. We re-signed both of them. Everybody kind of thought they were dead and their careers might be over, basically, in the NFL even, let alone with the Giants. Harbaugh was asked about that at the owners' meeting. He said, I'm excited about those two guys. From the beginning, I remember as far back as the draft process, those two players were guys we really felt good about in Baltimore. We had them highly rated. They hadn't broken through yet, but why can't they? What George Bernard Shaw said, some men see things as they are and ask why. We see things as they aren't and ask why not. And that's kind of what I saw in these guys. Why not give them the opportunity? They're motivated. They came in the office, they sat down, and they laid out a plan and a vision for what they want to accomplish and the type of players they want to be. And they showed us what they're doing to make that happen right now. So let's give them a shot. Let's give them an opportunity. They're talented, they're tough, and they have big dreams. If you're going to dream big, I like them to do it right here in our building and try to realize those dreams with us. We'll give them a shot to do that. That's very fancy talk for what we just said before. What we say? Yeah. You sign him. You're giving up nothing. There's no risk. Why not bring him in?
Cheap. You bring him back cheap.
Because obviously there was talent. One was a top 10 pick. One was a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, see what you get out of them. And listen, if you get a mediocre season out of them, that's better than what they've been.
If they're either one of them are solid backups, that's such a win. It's not even funny. And let's be very clear, Azudu probably is the better option to be that if he can just stay a guard and play his right position. But, you know, I'm still shocked that Evan Neal's back of all of it.
That's the most.
I can't believe after all the BS. Why would he even want to come back? That's my whole thing. It's not even that Harbaugh wanted him back here. Why would he want to come back here? That's why I don't get.
I just wonder, like, once I heard that, did he reach out to other teams and they all said, like, hey, we'll take you for vet minimum. We'll take you at the low rate. Maybe he said, you know what? I know what I have over here. I don't have to sell my home. I get a new place. And I have a new start with a really good coach that has a track record.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of, because otherwise I would be the hell out of New York, New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's there. We'll find out. It is what it is. All right, guys. Let's pay the bills real quick. Then we're going to go over Giants on the hot seat here coming up here in 2026 there. So, of course, we want to go ahead and remind you guys that you can go ahead and support the show. Why? Oh, there we go. There you are.
In the words of Jay.
Go ahead and support the show on buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoopballs. We got to give a shout out to Jay as well here, who just this afternoon, I noticed while he was at work, we bought us some beers there. He
appreciate
said,
you, dude.
Dude, have a ribeye Rob, put down the vacuum.
And just suck up the beer.
And of course, we're gonna send him the draft guide. We already were anyway, Jay. You know that. We told you that. So appreciate your support, man. But again, you go to buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoopballs. You can do you can buy us beers like Jay did. You can do monthly support payments like a lot of y'all do as well. So again, we appreciate everybody does support us, because let's be honest here. We know it's not the best money-wise out there in the world right now. So we get it. Like, we trust me, we do. We don't take it personally when people got to do things decision-wise. We're making decisions every day at the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess I have to go with the ShopRite brand today.
Spent $65 to pick up dinner tonight at the store.
Oh my gosh.
I know ribeyes.
Just pot roast burritos.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the draft guide here. The draft guide, of course, is available. It's buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoopballs -draft guide, or just go to the regular buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoopballs. You'll find it there. Like I said, we'll have about 200 players there on there, a little over there. When it's all said and done, it's going to be something we're building as we go there, so that way you're all ready for draft night. Gives you guys not just pros, cons, scheme fits, and things like that for and stats for all the players that'll be drafted, but also on top of that, gives you how they fit into the Giants scheme, which, again, to the best of my knowledge, I think we are the only ones who do an actual draft guide geared towards the Giants specifically there. Of course, you can also support the show on 2giantgoopballs-shop.fourthwall.com. I don't know why you keep disappearing, Rob, but I'm bringing it back, I promise. Of course, on there you got
no one puts baby in the corner.
Shirts, pins, towels, mugs, travel mugs, all kinds of fun stuff, including, of course, our newest, the pancake collection there, Pat's Pancake House, home of the fullback stack there. I just love that it reminds me so much of a Jersey diner.
It really does.
Just does. And of course, we still have the special going on right now where you can get free shipping on any purchase over $100 at the store there. Now, the easiest way to support the show is to go ahead and just hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that thumbs up on YouTube, guys.
Ring
Again,
that bell.
Thumbs ups like you wouldn't believe, because that helps so much. It's ridiculous. We got about 30 of y'all in there right now. We got 5 thumbs up.
Hey guys,
5 thumbs up.
The best part, it's free.
It is 100% free. And on top of that, guys, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, we are this close to 2,000 subscribers. So Appreciate you guys if you're able to help us out with that. We've got our goal here we're going for. I'd love to hit that goal by Easter. I think that's a realistic one because Easter is Sunday. We got a week to go. We've done plenty of weeks. We've done that many subscribers in a week there. We need about 25 more. So appreciate you guys there for supporting the show there. So let's get back into the topic here at hand because we got to talk about the Giants that are on the hot seat. And I think the obvious number one here, we're going kind of like Madden order as far as like, how we're doing it positional wise. And it starts off at wide receiver with Darius Slayton. Slayton was a guy that Rob, we have stuck up for this guy like you would not believe. I feel like since we started this whole thing.
And I feel like we're about to go through a divorce with him.
Yeah. So started his career 4 out of the first 5 years, over 700 yards, averaging 43.7 yards per game. Last 2 years, under 600 yards, averaging just 37 yards per game. His drop rate has been over 10% over the last 2 years, guys. In the past, prior to those 2 years, he only had hit it just once, 10%. And had been as low as 4.8% his rookie year, which in itself isn't great. Let me just be very frank on that part. But 4.8 is a whole lot better than 11.
Yeah.
So, I think
3 times better.
It's got to be there. So this is a year, and he's going to have competition like he hasn't had in forever. Like last year was, I feel like his year to show he wasn't washed up and was worth the contract.
He didn't do a good job showing it.
He did not do a good job. Did not at all.
In the words of Uncle Joey, he might get cut it out.
Is that football made out of wood? But I just feel like, listen, 5th round pick for the guy. He's going to year 8 with the Giants. Like that's amazing in itself. 8 years with one team. Like that just does not happen with the NFL. Then on top of that, he's almost 3 times the average length of a career of any NFL player. It's just maybe just time for a change of scenery for him. And I hate to say that. Hurts me to say. I've been a big Slayton guy.
Listen, we both have backed Slayton a lot. And I just think he's got a lot of competition coming into this room. I think a change of scenery would do him well. I think, listen, if he goes to Kansas City, the Patriots, even the Broncos, he's probably going to have a few more good years in his career. Probably not with the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just sometimes maybe, and if you don't though, maybe the new coaching staff is that change of scenery.
Could be. I mean, that's why we have Evan Neal, apparently.
That's exactly it. But this one will come with a rather large contract. But I think I just root for him because, and Jay just kind of hit the nail on the head there. He's like the underdog guy, a 5th round draft pick, 8 years with a team, like literally
scrappy.
And where he's just at in the Giants all-time receiving yards list. It's like he's that guy that just overachieved like you wouldn't believe. And I just respect that. Like he's number 12 right now. 12th most receiving yards ever in a Giants uniform. Think about it. He's been around for 101 years. You are the 12th most receiving yards.
And people have been trying to get rid of him for like the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Look at this. The guy on the left loves to generalize with hating on receivers. I'm not even hating on Slayton right now. I've been standing up for him for years. Don't come in one episode because he hates receivers. I'm talking about the great things right now he did. Are you kidding me? So he's 12th all time.
Jay comes in to back him up. Choose a haterade.
Of course, Jay's going to stir up the pot. So let's say he even just does what he's done the last couple of years. That's like 500 and change, okay? If he does that, he's going to be top 5 in Giants receiving yards for his career. Top
Impressive.
5. The only person, if he gets to 5,000, let's just say that right now, he's at 44.35. So we need 565 yards, which is very doable based on what he's done. The only people that have more receiving yards than him would be Tiki Barber, Frank Gifford, Odell Beckham Jr., and Amani Toomer. That's it.
It's not the Tuma.
So, like I said, I gotta give respect to Slayton and what he's done for this team over the years. I just think one more year, and he's only getting the one more year because of the contract too. Let me just be very clear on that. One more year of doing what he's done the last 2 years, that's change of scenery is going to come. And like I said, he's got the competition. Neighbors is coming back. Mooney's there. Austin's there. You got Likely now coming in like a big slot receiver. He's going to take catches away. He's going to have more competition he's ever had. And I'm just not sure that he's going to be there when it counts to make a difference because he's going to be further down the depth.
It's a lot of good competition as well. It's not like he's going against Isaiah Hodgins.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot. Like, 2 years ago we had 9 receivers in depth that like people want to come up that were all mediocre. And now like he's got legit talent, and like he may fall down to like that 6th spot, 5th spot as a receiver. I mean, granted, Dart and him had a little bit of a connection, but so did Hoseshki.
Yeah.
And he was always supposed to come here to play special teams. So let's see what happens when Likely is out there in the field.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. I'm going to give you a list. You know, I do the better than would you add this player or that player? I'm going to do it that way with you. Darius Slayton or Malik Neighbors?
Oh, it's a given. Neighbors all day long.
Darius Slayton or Darnell Mooney?
Mooney.
So Darius Slayton or Isaiah Likely?
Likely. Listen, you don't have to convince me. All right.
No, I'm just pointing this out for the math for people that. So we already have him right now as the 4th option.
But wait, there's more.
So, Darius Slayton or Theo Johnson?
Theo Johnson's also not in the best situation right now. So
Theo Johnson, Slayton, they both can't catch the goddamn ball.
Yeah, Johnson because he's cheaper, but I might go with Slayton because the long term, what he is.
Yeah, like I don't know, like Calvin Austin or Darius Slayton.
Flip a coin. Lean towards Austin.
Like I said, I'm just pointing this out numbers wise, guys. He's deep down the chain here. He's not a top option right now with this team. So let's get to the second guy, which we just listed a minute ago. At tight end, Theo Johnson, who flat out was just put in a position last year to be the tight end for the Giants. Absolutely was put in that position. And bombed it so horribly it's not even funny. Because he can't catch the goddamn ball. Now, I looked at the stats over that. I looked at the stats and I couldn't believe what I saw. They said he literally had just 7 drops when I went to Pro Football Stats. I feel like he had 7 drops in the game sometimes. Like, I just feel like it's time for him to either step up or potentially move on as well. Because, again, we've said it. He is open so many goddamn times throughout the game, it's not even funny. And I respect his route running, his ability to get separation. Like, he's got all that. But if you can't catch the goddamn football when you get open,
that's a problem.
And his drops, and maybe this is why I'm thinking it was just felt like more drops than 7. He was wide the hell open. And it'd be like 3rd down scenarios. Like, he was wide open. Nobody near him. Was boop, just falls off his hands.
Yeah.
But he just, like I said, he always just seems to be open.
He runs a good route. He's got the moves that, the tight end needs to get open. But once again, if you turn around and Dart throws it in your hands and you drop it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to, when you get paid to catch the ball, you got to catch the ball.
Yeah. And what Jay said is right here. If Theo could catch, he'd be pretty badass. And he's just, in my humble opinion, as if Jay's ever humble, but but it's the truth. Like, he would be a hell of a player if he just stopped with the stone hands, because he's willing to block. He is open all the time, you know, and he was used like a security blanket for Dart at times last year. But it's like a security blanket with a hole in it where the ball just falls right through it. Like a security blanket that got attacked by mothballs, like by my boss with no mothballs. You know what I mean? Like it just got eaten up. Like it really is a shame. And now you look at Isaiah Likely's there now. And Isaiah Likely, I'm telling you guys right now, I think he's going to have a much larger role in this offense than people realize. I think he's basically like wide receiver 2, basically, for all intents and purposes. Like, he is the new Wandale for many, you know, parts of the game.
Probably 3.
And again, when I say wide receiver 2, I get it. He's a tight end. He's a tight end.
I know. I get what you're saying. Like, I
just want to clarify before somebody says this fool doesn't know he's a tight end. Like, obviously,
yeah. No, he's definitely gonna be targeted, and that's what Harbaugh likes to do.
Yes,
like, that's the way this offense is set up to play now. But like, look at the Ravens last year. Likely played. There's a few games where he was the number 1 receiver, but there's also quite a few games where he was the guy that had like 20, 25 yards. Like, I think Moody's going to be our number 2, and then it's going to be likely at 3.
like I said, I think there's just so much potential for Theo Johnson where it gets me like, I feel like if we can just get him to catch the goddamn ball, you'd have basically, for all intents and purposes, what the Ravens had with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I just feel like.
Andrews, I mean, he's kind of more up there in age, and Likely was supposed to be his replacement, but there's a reason why Andrews was still the number 1 last year.
Because he had a big contract.
He had a big contract, but also there was a trust between him and Lamar Jackson. So, like, I as much as I think Likely's going to be great on this team, I don't think we should, blow smoke up everyone's asses and say that he was great.
No, but again, we talked about it on the show when we first signed him. When Andrews was down, he was averaging 50 yards a game.
100%.
Like if Theo Johnson doesn't catch the ball, like, let's put it this way. We've said it before plenty of times. Dable was a player's coach, and to a fault. 100% to a fault. If you look at the way Dable was with players, he would let them do whatever they wanted, basically, and just wouldn't even punish them, wouldn't sit players down, really. Like, that's why I still want to know what happened to Banks in 24, by the way, when he got shut down that one game. But you think Harbaugh's gonna like, oh, you just dropped the ball. Go back out there, slugger, and do it again. Like, no, he's gonna sit your ass down right now. You're not gonna be the rest of this goddamn game.
Let's figure this the hell out.
Like, that's what's gonna happen. He's not gonna put up with it. And if that's a problem and that's a limitation, I get it. Again, he's a 4th round pick. You took a chance on a tight end. Let's be honest, what he was. Like, this was a guy you're taking a chance on a tight end. And honestly, I could say that from a 4th round pick, he's been successful.
Fair. It's very fair. But most of your tight ends, like, you're not, like, when you take away Brock Bowers, when you draft a tight end that high, typically they don't pan out. It's normally when you go to the 3rd, 4th round, 5th round, it's when you get those tight ends that probably play the best, and you take the gamble on it. And Theo had good route running, like, he blocked, but that was his problem in college too.
Yep.
That sometimes he didn't catch, and when you
we knew it.
Yeah. So he still has the ability, like, catching is a skill. You can learn it.
Well, you can and you can't, because you still have to have the ability to learn the skill. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
like a 40 time is a skill. I mean, I can run a 4.2 tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
well, sometimes people are naturally fast. You can't
Some
really
people naturally
improve.
just catch the ball well too. It's hand-eye coordination. There's just different
Yeah.
aspects to it. Like when I played, I was horrendous at a lot of things because I was slow as hell, but I had damn good hands. You have that or you don't. That's all there is to it. And Theo Johnson so far hasn't had it, and that's a big issue. So if he doesn't fix that, he's not going to be, in that scenario next year where he's talked about as one of the weapons. He'll be a guy that's just a bench piece, or he'll be cut.
Probably.
Because my concern is that I don't want him turning to the Daniel Jones of tight ends. He shows you just enough to give you hope.
Yeah. And then he goes to the Colts and gets paid, 25 million, 30 million, whatever it is. What was this guy?
We had the JPP of tight ends. Now we get the Daniel Jones of tight ends. Just saying, like that's my concern is that's what he's going to turn into. Where you go, well, if he just fixes this one problem, he's so close. Like
we got him right there, so raw.
And I'm not ready to give up on him yet. But it's year 3. This is the year. Put up or shut up.
Exactly.
That's where it's at. So, all right. Let's get our next guy, which is the guy that I'm going to hear a lot of people probably saying that we're crazy for having the list. We're crazy.
Crazy.
But this guy's on the list. Andrew Thomas, of all people. When he's healthy, guys, he's a top-tier left tackle in the NFL. No doubt about it. And this line is night and day with or without him. The problem has been he hasn't been healthy very often. And I know some people are going to probably listen to this or watch this and say, well, this guy's crazy. Why would you talk about this being a make or break season for Andrew Thomas? Let me just remind everybody at the beginning of last year, y'all were ready to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And I mean, y'all not necessarily specific, but I'm just saying, I heard a lot of Giants fans saying, get rid of him. He's a ton of money. He's never healthy. Who knows if he's ever the same again, blah, 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 all this stuff. Like, let's be honest, the fan base flat out turned on him at the beginning of 25. Call it like it is.
Without doubt. And Jay hit it on the head. 3 season-ending injuries in a row.
Yeah. So, 22 games missed the past 3 years, guys.
And Jay also hit on that too. The Giants fans are stupid. And everyone, they want to trade everyone.
Oh, listen, we all get it. We get passion. It's not stupidity. It's passion.
Yeah.
Thinking with here instead of here is what gets you in trouble. And then we all as fans get that. It's why fans short for fanatic. That's life. But what's going to happen if hypothetically he gets hurt again this year? And you go, okay, here we are. It has been since 2022. He's been healthy. Like, at what point? And again, I'm not suggesting we cut him. Let me be very clear on this. I would rather get 10 games a season out of Andrew Thomas than 17 out of most tackles in the NFL. Just how I feel. Always been pretty big on that. And that's why I told you all, even in 25, we've said in the show, point blank, give him time, let him come back, let's see what he does. And if he comes back, on his own schedule, there's no excuses, and he'll probably come back healthy. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Let's trust this new medical staff that we have.
And again, that's part of the equation too, because we saw injuries like crazy. We saw guys getting misdiagnosed even, and
yeah,
that's what it is. And I think part of what really set people off is that he was going to come back until he felt ready. Not the Giants, Andrew Thomas. And that's how little faith he had in the medical staff. Because that's what everybody said, that he will not come back until he feels like he's ready, even if he's cleared by team doctors.
Yeah. Let's be real what the team doctors are doing here. Because if you go on disability at work or workman's comp, guess what those doctors are doing? They're not the best doctors out there. And I'm saying,
oh no, NFL players get the best doctors. Listen.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, those doctors and your bosses want you to back to work. So there's a little bit of a bias of how healthy you are. If you're good enough to do the job, you're good enough to go back to work. And that's not always the case, and that's an old school mentality, and we had an old school medical staff. So give it time and see what happens this year.
I just feel like it's flat out incompetence because you look at what happened with Evan Neal. They misdiagnosed his ankle issue so bad it's not even funny. I think it was ankle in the end it was, but they misdiagnosed him so bad it's not even funny. And he's not the only one.
Yeah. Well,
He's
that's
not
what I'm
the only
saying.
one.
But that's also falling up right into what I'm saying. Your boss wants you to go back to work. You're paying you to do a job. You can't do your job. We're paying you not to do your job. Come back to work. If you're at 90%, you're better than at 0% when you're not in the field. Come back to work. And that's an old school mentality.
But what you're saying, the difference is saying, okay, your knee's good enough to come back to work. And what I'm saying is that's not the scenario. What we're saying is, no, it's not my knee, it's my ankle.
Which is, yes, that's part of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's not the doctors trying to force you back to work early. That's the doctors being morons.
Or saying, I don't see a problem. Like, you're an idiot. And then they're idiots for saying it.
I just, like I said, I feel like that's the problem. And it's the problem, the fact that the players didn't even have confidence in the medical staff. So I'm really, really hoping that, this new front office and the changes they made to this medical staff really goes ahead and, gets everything rolling. That's for sure. So, let's get to two guys that we're going to combine here on the offensive line still, by the way. They're both in the same category. Basically, if we talked about them separately, we talked about almost the same exact thing. So we're just going to combine them together there. Jon Runyan Jr. and John Michael Schmitz, which is sad. We got 3 out of the 5 offensive linemen here, and we don't have one of them signed. But
brutal.
They're both at the end of their deals there, basically. And they're both, neither one of them, you could sit there and say made amazing contributions. Neither one of them, you could say in the last year, made horrendous, contributions. Both of them were okay starters. Jon Runyan was just okay. JMS just okay, which, by the way, is an improvement for JMS because he sucked the first couple of years. But that's what it is. Yeah. But they're auditioning now this whole season, not just for the Giants, but potentially for the entire NFL. Look at a guy like JMS. If JMS takes a back year from where he was at last year and goes back to what he was the first couple of years, to be very frank, he's probably not a starter in the league next year. At best, you can say it's not a guaranteed thing.
It's not guaranteed. He'll go somewhere be a starter.
Because again, last year he looked okay. Didn't look great. As Jay Snow said, JMS still sucks. He gets bullied in the run game all the time. Like, it looks okay. But, are the Giants going to be okay with okay? Are the Giants going to want to upgrade?
They're definitely going to upgrade. I mean, we talked about if he doesn't improve, they're going to upgrade. And they would say it like that because looking at how they want to run this offense, and all signs are pointing to a run-heavy offense, short game pass.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
And you need, JMS. You need your line to step up and lumping these guys together.
Yeah, like I said, it's these are important years for both these guys, 100%. So yeah. Let's get on to the defensive side. And the first one I'm going to get probably knocked for a little bit here.
Oh, yeah. Guys, brutalized Drew here. Drew.
This is kind of goes along the same lines of the Andrew Thomas one. There's already was guys talking about it there in the last year, in this beginning of this offseason. And again, same as the Andrew Thomas thing, I don't agree with it. But I'm throwing it up there as an option here. And that's Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence.
The only reason why they would cut him is because you did his dance.
No, because prior to this year, he was probably the best, if not the second best defensive tackle in the entire league. Let's be very frank on where he was at. Like, it's a matter of, you want to give Chris Jones the title or do you want to give it to him? This past year, he was considered the 9th best, defensive tackle by PFF grade, which is still great. But it's a big drop from 2nd best.
Yeah.
In 25, he played 5 more games and dropped from 9 sacks to half a sack. That's a massive drop. He had less tackles. He had almost half the solo tackles. He had exactly half the tackles for losses and exactly half the quarterback hits. In 5 extra games.
And what have we said about the defensive coordinator's position last year?
Oh, yeah.
And that defensive coaching all together. So how much is it? Sexy Dex maybe not being 100% to play, and how much is the coaching staff? And that's something you have to look into. And under new coaching, that's something that we'll evaluate. And I get the argument with the stats, but we all saw the difference.
It's not just the stats. Let's be very frank. He was not the same player last year.
He wasn't. But how much was that frustration? Because at the beginning, the first half of the year, first you saw a lot of driving, and it tailors off when you have a bad boss and they're telling you to do something that's not your strength, putting you in bad positions. And that's what happened to Sexy Dex a lot last year.
Yeah. And this is why I think personally it was a combination of 2 things last year with him. I'm going to say 3 things. He was still coming off of an injury. I think he wasn't 100% when he came back. I think 2, on top of that, the defensive scheme sucked. But I do think 3, I think he had a really bad attitude about it there. I didn't see the same happiness. I didn't see the same fight that you usually see out of Dexter Lawrence. I just didn't see it. Flat out.
No, 100%. And it wasn't just him. There's a lot of players on defense that were just frustrated.
Correct. But the difference is the other guys aren't going to have a $30 million cap issue.
Yeah, we got them instead.
And that's where we run into the issue. In my mind, Dexter Lawrence is going to be back next year like he used to be, maybe not 24 level, but at least 22, 23 level. But you look at you got Bowen gone, you got Harbaugh here, you get a whole new, front office here, and Joe Shane is basically, cleaning up the broom closet at the daytime. And there's a lot of differences here in the organization. There's a lot of more positivity out of it because John Harbaugh's here. And I think that's what's going to happen is you let him sit this year, you let him play it out this year, and I think things will straighten itself out. I really do.
Same.
But to play devil's advocate for a moment, not because of the haterade, just playing devil's advocate.
What flavor did you have today of the haterade?
Grape. Let's just say that.
No wonder.
Let's just say that hypothetically we're wrong, okay? Because you and I both sound like we're in agreement on this. Let's say we're wrong and he doesn't, and he plays like he did last year. He goes in 27 with a cap space of $29 million. And the Giants saved $22 million by cutting him. It's the final year of his deal. That's an issue. You have to play to the level that your contract says to keep it going. 100%. And quite frankly, there's been rumblings even last year that he wanted a new deal. And I think that's part of the attitude, to be very frank with you guys. He wanted a new deal, I think, personally. And this is not a source. This is not anything I've read. This is just me recognizing, seeing people that want more money at their job and feel undervalued. Coming off of a career year for him, almost double-digit sacks in just 12 games. I mean, he was a beast in 24. Let's be very frank. An absolute beast. The best version we ever saw of him.
He was. But, I mean, we both come from a sales world. And when you sign a contract, that's what you're contracted for. And you got to play to that level of the contract. Because otherwise, if you don't, guess what happens to the next year's contract?
But we've also seen in sales people that live up to the contract and beyond it, and then get frustrated they're not making enough money for what they're bringing to the table. And that's where I think he fell into last year.
Yeah, but you can't do that after a year of signing that contract.
I'm just saying, but it wasn't a year. This is his last year next year. So he's like 2 seasons in to be signed the contract.
Yeah. You're not going to renegotiate the contract. That's why he was highly paid the way he was.
In the NFL all the time. It happens in the NFL all the time. Especially because you do an extension, you get the first year down, you save some money. It happens all the time. I just think that he got in his own head about the whole scenario with the coach, and I don't think he liked, Bowen very much because no one did.
No.
I don't think he liked what was going on with the team because no one did. He didn't think he was going with the contract situation. And I think it all just kind of accumulated together, and he wasn't quite himself. So, hopefully we get the jolly, fun, Dexter Lawrence that we all know and love when he's on the field, because it is so much fun watching this guy when he plays. And when he's happy, he just seems like the nicest guy in the world, and you want to root for him. You really do.
Yeah.
Not even as a Giants fan, just as a person. But he just wasn't himself last year. So, like I said, I'm willing to say that Mulligan on the year. 100% willing to do it. He's more than earned that. But do you mulligan a second time if it doesn't work out?
Listen, you mulligan a second time. Guess what? This is your contract year. This is the time you play to earn what you're getting.
Oh, no. Next year is his contract year, not this year.
Yeah, but you're going to play. You're going to play now. If the Giants are smart, you play now, and you get him on a cheaper deal than if you play ball out for 2 years. Otherwise, you don't ball out this year, and you go to your contract year. John's going to look at it like, hey, listen, you had 2 great years. You had 2 pretty sus years.
Yeah.
How do you want us to pay you? They're
going to pay him off the sus years, of course. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Put yourself in our shoes. Like, you gave me 2 great years. The last 2 years have been terrible.
Yeah.
For what we paid you.
Yeah, like I said, we'll see what they do. A couple more guys on defense. Next up, Micah McFadden. This is definitely a make or break kind of year for him, because he took the 1-year deal to as a prove-it deal after, pretty much missing all of 25. Had a over 100 tackles each in both 24 and 23. He's 26 years old right now. And flat out, this might be the year that decides if he's a starter or a backup in this league going forward. He's been on that cusp. I mean, the 100 tackles, great. You do see the deficiencies in him too as well. Like, is he a true 3-down back? Is the biggest question you always hear. Like, is he a 3-down guy or is he a 2-down guy? There's a big difference in how you pay those guys. So, it just, I don't know. I feel like he's at that teetering point.
Yeah.
So, let's see what happens. We know he's not going to be the number 1 linebacker. Obviously, Traymon Edmonds is going to be there. But the big question is, what happens if you cut him? Sorry, what happens if you hold on to him and you put him at like 3rd or 4th, and then now all of a sudden you just get the playing time? Do we sign another linebacker? Do we keep Carter and Thibodeau both obviously on as the other side of the plate? Do you now move Carter over to linebacker and put Thibodeau on the edge on certain plays? Do you go ahead and maybe draft a guy, a Sonny Styles or something like that we keep hearing talk about? Like, he could easily drop to like the 4th linebacker in that room.
Yeah, very easily.
And if he does that, he's not going to get the playing time to prove what he can do. So then you go, okay, he had 2 decent seasons with the Giants. He started moving things forward, then he got hurt, then he did nothing next year.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like it's going to be like more of a lot of rotations over there. And like, everyone's going to get their fair share, but McFadden's definitely not going to get the fairest share.
Let's be honest, though. You're not sitting Traymon Edmonds for him.
No.
Let's be honest that if you drafted a guy like a Styles or a Reese at pick 5, you're not sitting them down for him either.
Yeah, not at all.
So, Okay, he's in front of Darius Muasau. Like, that's literally where you're at that point.
Yeah,
you
not
know.
the easiest.
And to be very frank with you guys, this is part of why I'm actually okay with not going to get another linebacker. I think McFadden actually is perfectly fine for an LB2.
I think so too.
I don't think we need to go out and get more and more in this room. Would I like us to go ahead and get a guy that could, start over him in that scenario? Like, yeah, I'd love that. But I just don't think that it's the biggest thing we got to go ahead and do. Like, I don't sit there and go, we need to fix this linebacker room like crazy. We need linebacker depth, yes. McFadden, he had a 2-time 100 tackle guy. Edmonds is a solid veteran linebacker. I just don't think it's the biggest need. I'm fine with them personally. I just don't think it's going to go down that way. And if he doesn't get the playing time, how do you prove you can play again? That's where he's at now. So, all right, let's go over. We got a couple. We've got a lot of people in the secondary to go over. Paulson Adebo, who, after having 7 interceptions combined in 2 seasons, had just 1 interception all of last year. And less than a third of the interceptions he typically has. On top of that, and again, I know not everybody loves PFF, but I like using it for corners because you get a better idea of how they did coverage-wise and all. 57.9 PFF grade. That's 77th amongst all corners, guys. 77th. That puts him in the middle of like the third corner on most teams. He allowed a 92 passer rating. He allowed 48 receptions. His cap hit this season is $24.2 million, guys. That contract is a goddamn albatross. $24.2 million cap hit. Because they only paid him like $9 million year one. They didn't spread it out evenly. Now, next year, 2027, it goes down to $20.3 million. And we can save $14 million by cutting him. How sad is that? Paulson Adebo would go down to $20.3 million, guys. It's not good. And listen, we knew he was going to have the best season last year coming off the broken fibula. When Rob and I actually went over corners we could sign last year, he didn't even make the list. We didn't even put him on the list because of the injury of guys to potentially sign. Absolutely insanity the way this whole thing went for him. And if he has a year like he had, even like somewhat like he had last year, then that's going to put him in a scenario where the Giants are just saying, you know what? We're good. We just don't have to go ahead and pay a guy that kind of money to be a below average corner. We can go get a below average corner anywhere, like the first round. The next guy, Deonte Banks. There he is. Deonte Banks now is in the 4th year of his rookie deal. Obviously, the 5th year is not going to be popped up. Like, let's be very frank, we're not going to be getting that. Nobody wants it. PFF grade last year. And you thought Paulson Adebo was bad. Oh, my God. His PFF grade was 42.4. That's 112th out of 114 corners.
Yeah, but you just see it for his kick returns.
I get it, but he's a corner who can't corner. His coverage grade, 45, which is 110th. His run defense grade was a 36.7 PFF grade. I didn't even know PFF went that low, goddammit. I've never seen that. That's like not even putting your name right in the SAT paperwork.
It's crazy. Oh my god.
And if that doesn't show you the lack of effort that he puts out into his work, I don't know, what
We
else
knew
does.
we knew he was a little bit of a project when we picked him up.
Yes.
We also were like, why are we picking this guy up? But it fit the scheme-ish at the time of how he played, because we kind of went off of our old defensive coordinator's stats there. But your first round, you don't take a project.
No.
As Jay put it, I can't say it even better. Banks has awareness of Helen Keller.
Yeah, it's just really bad. And let me be very frank, the guy we liked for that was Cam Smith, and he has not had a good NFL career either. So we would have been wrong as well in that. So that's not even a Tudor horn moment or our own horn moment. We were right about Banks. We were also wrong about who we wanted instead of him. But god damn, and Jay Talk said it a minute ago, his kick return, or you said, I'm sorry, kick return was amazing. Jay, credit for you. He did buy us coffees today, so we have but he did show value as a kick returner. He averaged 32.7 yards per return. That is second in the NFL for anybody who did more than 10 returns. So that's something. That's legitimately something. But if he doesn't show up anything on defense this year, he's going to end up either being a returner for the rest of his career and a guy that doesn't get paid very much as a result of that, because those guys don't get paid. Ask Gunnar Olszewski. Guy was a former old pro sitting on the streets last year.
Pretty much.
And the year before that, we got him off the streets too. So, yeah.
Like for what, Mill?
This is a make or break. Yeah, so I'm saying this is a make or break for Banks. And if anybody's going to fix him, it's going to be Denard. He likes physical press man corners. This is what, Deontay Banks does. But what people don't even always realize is that Banks was not a pure press man guy. I keep on hearing people say that. He wasn't. Maryland did a hybrid scheme, sometimes press, sometimes zone. He looked better in press than he did in zone. That's why people always think that. He played both. And if you look, a lot of his interceptions got his rookie year with the latter part of the year, not just because he was doing better because of time, but because Wink got forced going into his zone coverage. He never wanted to do it, but he got forced into doing it because Dable finally put his foot down.
Yep.
And that's when Banks got a couple of interceptions. So I don't buy the whole he's only meant for press man corner kind of thing at that point. But you know what? Fine. If that's what he's better at, I'll give you that. So let's see what happens this year. This is the make or break for his career. 100% the make or break for his career.
Yep. So, otherwise, he's going through the Cardinals.
Exactly. So, all right, we got two more guys to go over. We're going to combine them, just like we did with the two linemen there, because they both kind of very similar, tells here, just different stages of their careers. Tyler Nubin and Javon Holland, both are starting safeties here. So, let's be honest, both underwhelmed last year.
That's a very nice way to say it.
It's an honest assessment.
Very nice way to say it.
Tyler Nubin still doesn't even have an interception in his career. He's got a 57.2 PFF grade at 78th out of 98 safeties. His run defense was 47.1, 95th. His coverage grade was at least a little better at 60.0, 51st out of 98. His cap number in 27, $2.6 million, and the Giants saved 1.9 by cutting him.
Interesting.
I'll say this, it's a low cap number, so I think that probably saves him from not seeing out his rookie deal. But the bad thing is it's also a low enough cap number that you don't got to sit there and go, he has to start. We have to make this work. We're paying him so much money. You're not paying him that much. You're paying him what you pay a backup safety.
Yeah.
And he's playing like one, in all fairness. And we loved him coming out of college. Let's be very frank about that. Like, this was a miss on our part. So far, at least. But 2 years in the league now. Who was his defensive coordinator both years?
Great Bowen.
That's the only thing that I'm trying to hold out hope for, is that Shane Bowen just messed up this kid, because he looked so much better in school. And Jay's the ball hawk thing, joking around. He was a ball hawk in Minnesota. Absolutely was a ball hawk in Minnesota. Not a single interception in 2 years.
Crazy. You would think on accident the ball will fall in his hands.
I'm gonna throw this at you guys. I think he's a dark horse candidate to actually be like comeback player of the year for the Giants.
He could be.
Because if Denard Wilson can make him what we thought he was going to be, then that'd be night and day difference. Absolute night and day difference. And I still think he's got it. I really think it is Bowen that messed him up. I see just enough to not give up hope on him,
Yeah.
So
Bowen messed up a lot of it. I want to just sit there and crap at Bowen the whole time, but like,
it's the truth though.
It was also a completely different defense of players that were drafted to this team for Bowen's setup, which, I mean, it wasn't that good anyway, but so all these players are asked to do different things of how they're supposed to play or how they played well. And yeah, no produced in their defense.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And I'm going to throw this out there too, because Jay put it out there. He said a safety that can't run is going to break out. So again, we don't like the 40 time for a judge of how good a player is going to be. Obviously, we've said that multiple times in the show. Tyler Newman, his 40 time though, 4.56. You know who ran a 4.57 at their combine back in 2002? Mr. Ed Reed. You don't have to be a track superstar to be a ball hawk safety in this league. What you need is instincts, angles, and to be put in the position where you don't require the speed.
Yeah.
Because Ed Reed was point blank put in the position to see. Let me be very frank on that with you guys. He was like, you go play center field. And as things evolve, blow up, go ahead and do that. And that's what he did. Again, that's not to say he's going to be the next Ed Reed. Let me be very clear on that. I don't think he's
but you just proving the point that
considered one of the best safeties ever. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's all about the shortest distance too. It's not about how fast you run. Granted, like, it does help, but if you're watching a play develop and understand the field, you can get to that play at the right angle faster than once the ball is thrown. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you can see like the intent, the QB's eyes staring at whichever receiver that he's going out to, and get in the middle of that and understand the route run.
That's what Ed Reed did for so many years. Like I said, I think Newman's got skill. I still just do. I'm not ready to give up on this kid. Don't get me wrong. One bad year, more bad year, and I will. But
fair.
I'm just not quite there. Javon Holland, 58.4 PFF grade at 74th out of 78 safeties. Coverage 53.0, 71st out of 98. Here's what kind of shocked me. Javon Holland's run defense, 73.8, 33 out of 98 safeties. I did not expect that so high. So we'll give the little kudos there on that.
Yeah.
But let's be honest with you. In the end, he was signed for his coverage abilities. And his coverage ability was 71st at 98. That's not good, guys. You know, and let's be very frank. It's also saying that he is a jerk reaction to how great of a year Xavier McKinney had in 24. That's exactly what it was. Shane Bowen regretted not signing Xavier McKinney because McKinney called the Giants up point blank and gave them a chance to offer the same offer. He wanted to come play for the Giants still, and he didn't do it. So one more year later, he tries to fix his mistake and pays the wrong guy. You know? Now, his cap space situation is completely different than Newman because, again, he's a free agent that we signed. So in 27, his cap space is $18.9 million. The Giants would save 13.8 by cutting him. If he doesn't have a better year, he's not going to make it to year 3 with the Giants, guys.
No.
And I'm going to throw this out there to you guys as well. The Giants signed our Darius Washington. They signed Jason Pinnock, both guys who have starting experience, one with Harbaugh in Baltimore. Don't think for a minute that either one of those guys couldn't take either one of the other guys' positions. And it would not shock me at all. I don't think Harbaugh's going to give a damn. He's going to say, I brought 2 guys in to compete. You're all going to compete. Yeah. And if you don't do what you got to do, then one of the guys can take your spot. All there is to it. Especially Washington. If he's healthy, that kid had a really good 24. It didn't look bad when he was healthy in 25, but that 24 season, one healthy season he had, he looked really damn good. And if you do the math together, Holland and Newman would be $21.5 million cap hit in 27. Washington and Pinnock, 5 years, $5 million combined this year.
Craziness.
Yeah. So, you know, that's definitely not a given that's going to work out that way for those guys. So, you know, but listen, we'll see. Hopefully Shane Bowen just effed a lot of these guys up and a lot of these guys go back to being what they should be.
Let's hope so.
You got to expect more, that's for sure. Hey, listen, guys, though, before we get going here tonight, we got about 40 of you guys right in YouTube land right now watching live. I got 14 thumbs up I'm showing on my end. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button too, as like I said, we're trying to get 2,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We are almost there, guys. And you know, appreciate it. I know we got one watch of the show there, so I appreciate whoever did. But listen, guys, that's gonna call it a night for us. We'll be back, of course, on Wednesday. We don't know yet what's gonna happen. I'll tell you this: one of these 2 days, Wednesday or Thursday, we are gonna do probably a post free agency mock draft show. Do 2 mocks, one with trades, one without trades. People always like doing that. So we'll get that rolling with you guys there. I just don't know Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to do one of those 2. But one of those 2 will do that. One of those 2 will do probably one of the positions there for the draft coming up there. So we'll let you guys know as we know. But again, guys, we are always live every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, the preferred platform, along with, of course, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter/X, and of course Rob's favorite,
True's LinkedIn profile. Woo!
My LinkedIn profile. And of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. So if you haven't already, again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, hit all those good buttons. Even you, our name, who like to argue me all day long, but I love it. Go for it, man. No, seriously, that's the weird thing about it. I feel like some guys attack people when they disagree and banter back and forth. That's what it's supposed to be. This show is supposed to be like we're drunk at a bar talking football. That's what we want.
That's half the fun.
Exactly. It'd be so boring if everybody disagreed with us all the time. So, you know, you go love OBJ, man. No hard feelings at all. We can disagree. It's all good. So, but like I said, we'll see you guys all there Wednesday night. Appreciate you guys as always. And as always, Giant fans,
Go G-Man! Go G-Man! G-Man! G-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.